I hope everyone can take your seat now because we will begin our session shortly. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning I wish to our candidates and beloved audience. Welcome to the lecture debate for Deputy President 1C. I am Ashraf Izham, who will be your moderator for today's session.
A full day for us together here to have a debating session for Deputy President 1C. And I hope everyone here is in good condition. Please scan the QR code on the slide for the registration purpose. Before we start, it's better to me to introduce our candidate. We have two candidates here. Let me introduce Sister Athirah, second law student from the icon, and Brother Fakhruddin and Brother Fakhruddin Raza, third student from the I I believe everyone here cannot wait to hear their presentation about the ideas and point of view that can give all of us a clear vision to choose our leaders. Now, I would like to read the flow and regulation for our session tonight. First, we will have 3 sessions. The first one is we will hear a manifesto presentation. Each candidate will have 5 minutes for their presentation. Second, I will ask the prepared question to each candidate. And finally, we will have question and answer session. Candidates are given 1 minute after each question to answer the question. And now it's time to start our session. Without further ado, I would like to call Sister Athirah. The floor is yours.
Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum everyone, my Gombak constituent. My name is Athirah and I'm running for Deputy President 1 seat out here in Iiumsu Union election 2022 for Gombak locality. So I think 5 minutes is too short to share about my aspiration, to share about what I wanted to do for the union. But let us just follow the procedure, and then you can always ask about my expression through my social media. So before we started on the manifesto presentation, I would like to ask everyone in this hall. So how do you define SU actually? And how is it different from SRC? Anyone want to answer? How do you define SU? Union. What? NGO, yes, correct, brother. All right, so that is your definition, but I think we may want to have a common ground of our direction for tonight's presentation. So I would define SU as a student organization that will represent the students on a higher level because of the autonomy that we have as student union. But SRC, on the other hand, is a student representative with a restricted autonomy given by the administration. So if this is IIUM, SRC is under IIUM. But if this is IIUM, SU is the partner of IIUM. So that is the differences between SU and SRC. So I would like to start on my first presentation, which is, I have 5 manifestos. The first one is good governance of the union. So good governance, it is really important because we need to make sure that we have a legitimate position in IIUM. Right now we have the MOU, but we need to be realistic that MOU will not be binding on us. Anytime IIUM can revoke it with us. So what is important is for us to, in the future, we have a clause for IIUM Union as the highest student representative body in IIUM. So that is for the good governance by strengthening the organization legally and accountable practice. Why accountable practice? Do you ever see student union officer hold an accountable or engagement session with the students every fortnight? Do you ever see any student union officer do that? Do you know what is the update of student union except from what they put in their social media? Do you know where is the direction of SU right now? No. So that is why it is time to start doing it. It is time to start being serious with our duty as the officer. So that is why accountable practice is so important. And I would also aim to publish 100 days report card after being installed in the office. So that is for the first manifesto. The second one is I'm fighting for a progressive representation of IIUMSU. Yes, we have the platform in the University Management Committee, Student Affairs Committee, Senate meeting, but we need to enhance our participation in the decision-making process. And then as an activist, we are student union, we are NGO, we are a student activist. So we need to energize the relation between student union and other student movement beyond campus level, so that we could represent student voices beyond campus level. And then that is for the second manifesto. The third one is financial sustainability. 1 minute left. So that is so short. All right. So financial sustainability, I'm planning to make, to ensure that the union have two type of business, which is setting up a physical or online shop, or generating passive income. So that is the third one. The fourth one is empowering women welfare. I know it is hard for the students this time in physical mode classes. You need to juggle between class to class. And then when you get your first period of the month, and then when you go to the restroom, there is no sanitary pad dispenser. Students were embarrassed and they are missing out on their education. So that is truly not right. I've also worked on this because I have involved in the future project with Libres that will be held starting from June. So if I were to win in this election, I would continue for this project because I'm a woman of action. I wouldn't promise what I don't initiate and execute. So, and then may I ask for 1 minute? 30 seconds, all right. And then the fourth one is easy mobility in campus. The fifth one, easy mobility in campus, which is I aim to ensure the existence of mobile scooter services in campus, which is I have initiated on that because I have met with vehicle management unit, and then I have contacted with BIM. You know BIM, the purple one you see in KLCC. So after this, you will write BIM in UAE. Yeah. So because for this manifesto, recently yesterday we had a briefing session with BIM, and after this, inshallah, BIM will come to UAE and we will have a site visit for the project. So vote for me, and then you get all of this. And then to conclude, this means I'm fighting for systematic changes and services for the students, because the time for half measures are over. We need a real solution, a progressive one, which you will receive from me. And I can assure you that this is an act of love and service for you, my Gombak constituent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Athirah, for her presentation just now. I think she elaborated about her manifesto well. Next, it's time to call Brother Fakhruddin to present his. The floor is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I think it is important for leaders to show the way and lead the way, because students is like the one who lead and shows to the leaders that we are the competent leader to give to the students. That is the leaders that I hold in this Iiumsu student union. So, without further ado, I would like to show and I would like to share my two first manifesto. The first one is to provide a streamlined reporting mechanism to the IIM's issue. So what is the reporting mechanism that do you understand? The reason why we need to streamline reporting mechanisms, because students are confused to choose or to choose the best method to criticize officers in IIUM. I believe that IIMSU didn't have any specific or policy that give students to criticize or to complain to the officers in IIUM. For instance, finance IIUM. Do we see that any survey feedback form from finance? Yeah, no, right? The SFS only focusing on lecturers and facilities. So my first manifesto is holistic enough to focus on each officers in IIUM. Different officers in IIUM have different kind of problem. For instance, like Ahmad, finance, visa unit. This is different kind of problem. So my first manifesto, there is 3 aspects that I need to focus. The first one is to collect student problems and student concern or even ideas are welcome to share with us at Iumsu. The second one is to analyze. We do have team to analyze each of the concern from the students. What are the use of survey form if we did not analyze the Google form? We do have different kind of level of urgency. Emergency state, moderate state, or no urgency at all. So our team will categorize each of the concern that have been brought to the students. The third one is we deliver the result. After we have completed the analyzation, we will give the concern to the respected officers. The second manifesto that I would like to highlight is to give Iumsu brain growth into the global student network. So I would like to emphasize that current Iumsu have less connection with international student movement. So I believe and I confidently enough that I will bring Iumsu into the international connection. We do have different kind of student union globally. For instance, in Singapore, we do have Nanyang Student Union. For instance, like we do have University of Leicester, Student Union Leicester, Student Union University of Leicester. So this kind of student connection, we need to have an MOU, we need to have a connection with them. After the discussion with them, we have different ideas. We market our ideas to them. They also can bring their ideas to us. This is what I've been emphasized in Iumsu. We are focusing on global and we are focusing on local. Why we don't challenge ourselves to focus internationally? I think the best method approach of Iumsu is to focus on local and global. IIUM is different, is unique. It is a different of uniqueness that have local student and international student. We need to celebrate these two students. Yes, we do have another different kind of student. For instance, like disability unit. All of these students, we need to celebrate them. So I believe and I confidently enough that Iumsu in the global network can change the niche and the approaches to the Iumsu and the connection to the others SU as well. The most importantly is to gain trust from students. Iumsu must have trust to the students. If we do have trust, Iumsu as student will work globally. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brother Fakhruddin Razak, for his presentation just now. For those who just arrived, please scan the code on the slide for the registration purpose. For the next session, it's time to me to ask both of you the question. You are given 1 minute to think for each question, and we'll have 3 minutes to answer the question. The first question: in the full extent of the candidate ability, identify and address the weakness of the union. Huh? Okay, sorry. The first question: in the full extent of candidate ability, identify and address the weakness of the union. You have 1 minute to think. Time is up. Now, I think it's better for Sister Athirah to answer this question first.
All right, thank you so much. Do I need to sit or I need to stand? Depends. All right, okay. So the question is to the extent of my capabilities and analyze what is the weakness of the union, the current student union. All right. So okay, this question is hard because I am basically the one that is in the system or even in the office of president IMSU, assisting the president, the deputy president one, and then the vice president one. So this question is hard because it would smack into my face because this is my job scope as well. So I think the weakness of the union, the first one is that we should emphasize more on the quality base. I would say because of the practice of the officer itself, I couldn't really identify which one, which initiative should be done collectively by every campuses, Gombak, Kuantan, and Pago, and which initiative could be done within their own locality, which is for Gombak, Kuantan, and Pago itself. So that is the first thing, because I would say that as becoming a student representative, student leaders, I know most of you guys have another commitment except from academic as well. And being a student representative is a whole different level of commitment. You need to juggle with like academic, life, and also running an organization. So I think because we did not have this kind of separation of power between each campuses or centralization of power, that is why some works are redundant. Maybe sometimes president would do the work, the duty of the deputy president one. Maybe sometimes president would do the duty of the deputy president 2 or 3. So this is the redundancy that is not good for the work ethics of the student union officer. So that is the first weakness. And then the second weakness is I think our student union, to be frank, we lack of the spirit of the new era of student activism. Like I think I'm not sure if you guys here in this hall is mostly juniors or seniors. But if you are from third year or fourth year, you would know that previously how student activists champion student voices in campus, because we have a restricted autonomy because of the UUCA, University and University Colleges Act 1971, AUKU, because before December 2018, we have been restricted from involving in political activities, or even if you raise anything about national issues, it wouldn't give a benefit to you. So I think the time has ended. All right, let me finish with one sentence. So we lack of spirit of the new era of student activism, while this is actually the function of student union, empowering student voices to a higher level. We could do so much, but we are lacking at it right now. So that is my answer. Thank you.
Now, let's hear from Brother Fakhruddin.
Bismillah. Thank you, moderator, for the question. So I would love to share that one of the weakness of IMSU. I would say that that is not a weakness, but the improvement that need to be done for the IMSU. So I would love to share that the current IMSU have less engagement with the students. I believe that I'm in the chief of staff of IMSU Welfare Office. We do have lots of programs, lots of initiatives to help the needy students, before the students, international students that have problem with the food, with the transportation, and so on. So I believe that the next IMSU need to do physical program more, to do the engagement more with the students. We cannot deny that physical interaction is important to us. We cannot deny that, because physical interaction is our fitrah, is our responsibility. So making IMSU have a great engagement with the students. I believe that the current IMSU have lots of programs. They go on the ground with the students. For instance, like we have Ops Pulang. Ops Pulang, we help and assist more than 2,000 students to going back to the campus and to going back to the hometown. So this kind of initiative that we need to highlight. Without the initiative, students have confusion how they want to go back to their hometown. So I believe that this initiative will help students, will gain trust IMSU to students. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, both of the candidates, for the answer the first question. Now, for the second question, it is to be made aware that representation by the union is not accepted by some students. In what way does the existence of the Iiumsu be justified when most students are registered automatically? Please respond.
Can I have the interpretation of the question? Like, what do you mean representation of student unions are not being agreed by the student?
So you didn't actually represent. So the student is automatically addressed automatically registered to be as IMSU member. So some of them were not accepting it. So in what way would you respond to the statement?
Time is up. So, to be fair, I would like to choose the Fakhruddin first to answer this question.
Thank you so much for the excellent question, moderator. So, the fact is, IMSU membership is not automatically registered because it related to the constitution of IUM. So, I think the question need to be revised. But we need to respect the rights of students. Yeah, I wanted to explain about the current MSU. So the reality is we cannot do the automatic registration. That's why our Office of Advocacy urge students to register for this election because we need the data, the registration from the student to have the eligibility to vote in this election. So I believe that they have right. Students have right to not accept the student membership, but the fact is they will miss more of benefit from IIM Student Union. IIM Office of Welfare have prioritized the student, the one who registered for IMSU membership. We do have food coupon, we do have food, dry food, we do have pets also for women students. So this I would like to encourage for students to register the IMSU membership to receive the initiative provided by IUMSU. I believe that all students may do that. Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for the answer. So I think the question is some students did not consented to their registration to as I am student union member. So how would I respond to it? That is the question. So how would I respond to it? I would smile first. I would smile first, and then as a student union officer, we need to understand and appreciate that it is their right because they didn't understand about student union. So how would I respond to this group of students or maybe the juniors because they do not know anything about student union? So what I would do is that I would go to the students and then explain to them about student union, because sometimes people, they don't want to follow, or they don't believe in such ideas because they didn't have the literacy about it. They don't know about SU, so they do not know what SU can offer, so that they wouldn't agree to it. So what should we do is that we come to the students and explain everything about student union to them. And this is basically what I think I experienced the same thing when I was in first year. I entered into this campus and I know nothing about SU. But I know that we need a student representative body, and because previously I was a student representative committee in 𝑒𝐓𝐷𝐢𝐴. And then I hate the bureaucracy, I hate administration. But then when I enter main campus and I know about SU, I wanted to learn more about SU, but I know nothing about it. So I am this group of students. So what the student union officer at that time do to me, that time Sister 𝐓𝐷𝐢𝐿𝐲𝐵, if you know her, she is the one that come to me and then explain a lot about student union. So that is how a student union officer should react with this group of students. Thank you so much. That is my answer.
Thank you, both of the candidates, for answer the second question. Now, I would like to question. I would like to ask you the final question for both of you. The final question is: would the candidate be able to rally enough power among students in the support of any policy made later within tenureship? I repeat, the final question is: would the candidate be able to rally enough power among students in support of any policy made later within tenureship? You have 1 minute.
Okay, the question is, will the candidate be able to rally enough power among students in support of any policy made later within tenureship? Do you get the questions? All right.
Time is up. Now, I think it's better for Sister Athirah to answer this question. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much for the question. Would the candidate have enough power in support of any decision made during the tenureship? So I think I would want to answer this in the context of the seat that I am contesting at, which is Deputy President 1. So I think the status quo in the tenure is that how we decide on something is that we have the board of approval, which is consisting of the main board and also office of Pradvo before this, right now office of OCAP, between 3 campuses. So this is how the big decisions are made in student union. So they need to go through this board of approval first, and then only then they would decide on the issue or anything. So I would think as a Deputy President one, I hold so much power for my Gombak constituent because I am actually centralizing every student concern and then will bring it to the board of approval as my capacity as Deputy President one. So I would say that we have enough power for that, but what we need is someone who actually can really utilize the power. So that is the answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you to the moderator. Thank you to the moderator. Yes, I agree with you, moderator, because IMSU is now an independent body. So IMSU have the capacity to challenge what the decision from IMSU, from the IIM. But we need to realize the fact that IIUMSU only have the MOU with the IIUM. Anytime, anywhere, we finish. But we need to have good relationship with IIUM first. We need to have their trust to gain their trust for the IMSU. If we do have their trust, I believe that IIUM administration may consider the voice of IMSU. Yes, it is good for us to bring the student voice because students have right. But we need to accept the fact that we are another entity. That is the fact. If anyone who didn't know, now I wanted to tell you. Anytime, anywhere, IIM will, if we cross the border, cross the line within the IIM, so IIM will easily introduce SRC back. What is our response to that? Okay, I think let's answer the question. Thank you so much.
Thank you for answer the third question. Now, I open the floor to each candidate to ask the other candidate 2 questions. Sister Athirah, you can start.
All right. Thank you so much, the audiences and Brother Fakhruddin for being here on this stage. Like 2 weeks of campaigning, and then we're on this stage. A whole long period of campaigning, I would say. So regarding the question that I would like to ask to you, I am very honored that you are contesting for this position as well because it's a big task. It's a big task. So I like your suggestion that you wanted to market the brand of SU because last time I communicate with the president of Sheffield Student Union. Sheffield Student Union is the first student union in United Kingdom, the top one. So we consider to have this kind of collaboration as well. So I would really support the second manifesto. But I would also wanted to ask you that I have this concern about your manifesto because this is what we offer to the students. So we need to know within our capacity as Deputy President 1, what we want to offer to the students. So when I produce your manifesto, I would say, I think both of them streamlining communication and also marketing the SU brand to global network. I think both of them is actually redundant with the function of Office of Communication and Promotion. Redundant, and these manifestos can be done within those office capability. So because I have this concern that we are actually the one that will run the organization. We mobilize all of the offices, not doing the duty of other office. So my question is that how do you justify this? I mean, like, do you have any other presidential level aspiration or manifestos, not just focusing on this? Because I would say this is my humble opinion that it can be done within the capacity of that office, not the presidential capacity. So that is my question. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Sister Athirah. I think that is an amazing question. Yeah, I believe that Office of OCAP right now, OCAP, right? They have done a great job. Okay, but the problem is student is confused where is the best channel to complain. We do have different kind of platform, like we do have Twitter, we do have I am online, we do have any kind of platform, but which platform is the best? Okay, so we need, if we present our concern to the management, are they going to believe in the social media? We need facts and statistics, right? Where do we want to get the facts and statistics? In the Google form. So how many students that are not certified? How many students that are satisfied with the performance of office in IIM? So after we have the facts and data, so I believe IMSU have the trust, have the voice in the administrative level. We are playing with professors, doctors. So this is the reality in the administration. So we cannot show this student complain in Twitter. Do you think they're gonna believe the situation? So they are professors. They are living with books. So they need to have statistics, to have data, to prove that our voice, our concern is valid. I think.
So you are saying that you, as the deputy president one, you are the one that will make the Google form. You are the one that will analyze the Google form.
Thank you, Athirah. We do have team in our deputy president. You do have also office of president, right? Office of president have many of staff members. So I believe
But I think that is not the function of Office of President, because we focus more on union relation, union development, community department, and that is what we have been doing in Office of President. That one, we pass it to Office of OCAM. Yeah.
I believe I bring this manifesto, but I did not acknowledge other of deputy president responsibilities. But this is the first, or this is the basic problem that I have faced to the students. International students have problem with their visa, so it disrupted their learning process. Students who have your manifesto, women empowerment, sanitary pads, so that is the issue that I need to bring forward.
So you want to establish another team that will analyze this kind of Google and technical part in Office of President?
Not another team, another staff members that focusing only analyzing the problem that has been raised for the student. We must ensure that students have rights to concern their voice in any platform, but which method? So administration have
So
different kind of
you okay. Let's say if you win in this election, and then there is a issue of um, issue. There is issue that needs student survey. So you would cater this issue, and then you would pass it to the team in the office of president, not OCAP. So what OCAP will be doing?
Sister Athirah, I believe you are a good candidate. We can collaborate. We don't
Thank
have
you.
any problem. Yeah, we don't have any problem. Each of officers in IUSU is one unionism, right? So we can collaborate with office of OCAP. We do have consent.
I think we need to be disciplined with our work ethics. Do not take anyone's job, because we need to be disciplined with our work ethics.
So we cannot to collaborate with other officers.
We can collaborate,
Yes,
but
we
on
can
specific.
collaborate, right?
Yeah.
Contradiction. Okay, so I believe I answered your question, Sister Athirah. Okay, thank you so much,
You have any question for me?
Sister Athirah.
I think my name is quite maybe it's a pretty name, I think.
Yeah, we do have all pretty names. Okay, I really attracted with your
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you print my manifesto.
Yeah. This is the example of the leader. We prepare our question. Okay, so I attracted with your fifth manifesto, which is easier mobility in campus. But I have one question. We do from our previous IIUM, we do have mobile, we do have uni, right?
Yes.
But two private company in IUM fail to continue their project in IUM. So what is your guarantee that your initiative is continuation until
It's sustainable.
Sustainable until for the future?
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Fakhruddin, for the question. I think most of the students are interested more in the fourth and the fifth manifesto, because it's services, and I'll basically bring a corporate company outside IUM to enter campus. So yes, the corporate company, the services before this did not sustain. But we need to analyze first what is the problem that makes them did not continue their services in IOM. So after due consideration and meeting with the vehicle management unit, because I am so serious with my manifesto, when I promised I would execute it. So when I met with the vehicle management unit, and then we discussed a lot about the previous problem with OBI Uniride. So the problem is that time is that because of the MCO, and then the company wound out. When the company wound out, so they cannot sustain their company, so they need to terminate the contract with IAM. But because of the MCO, so that is the problem at that time. And then why do we have the level of by Uniride is because this is basically the job scope of the liquidator. The liquidator that will want out the company need to make sure that they settle on the maintenance of the bike or scooter. So that is the problem. So what I would do to ensure that this project sustain is that for us to analyze first which corporate company that we will collaborate with. So right now I have contacted with BIM. So I would say BIM is a trusted corporate company because they have a strong company background. So that is why first we need to make sure that we collaborate with the right company. Do not just pick any company and then like, okay, we collaborate with SU and then SU will get the disadvantages of it. So analyze first. That is why the skill of collaborating, the skill of communicating with corporate company is really much important. So first analyze who we will collaborate with, and then the second one is make sure that we have a strong and legitimate agreement. That is why I am really happy that we have the Office of Legal Affairs, because this is really important. We are an NGO, so if we didn't have the legal provision or legal document that will bind the company, of course, anything can happen. Even like the company can withdraw from the contract. So that is why it is important for us to ensure that we are strong in our legal capacity. So that would be my answer.
Thank you, Athirah. I have another question that you said that you analyze who to collaborate, right? How you want to bring the company into IUM. The IUM with the company have done, but how you want to gain trust from the IUM administration to put belief on you, to put belief in the upcoming IMSU that you want to bring the company into IIM. This is the real
So
problem.
how do I gain the trust of IIM administration to bring this corporate company into IIM? That is the question. All right. So that is why it is important to be a competent officer. Because when you become a competent officer, you know exactly what to do. So I think it is really important that as you work professionally, not just a mere club and society environment. So that is why we need to ensure that we have a professional work ethic, so that when we want to initiate something, we prepare a proposal for it. We prepare a proposal for it and then meet with the particular office in IOM and then have further discussion that will gain their trust. So that is what I've been doing for the fifth manifesto. I prepared everything. I received the contact, the PIC, the person in charge for BIM, and then I connect the executive officer in BIM to vehicle management unit. So that is why they have the trust in me. That is why they bring me into meeting, even though right now I am not the officer. I am an ordinary student. I go to the vehicle management unit. I am an ordinary student. I am not an officer. I said I wanted to bring this. So this is my proposal. I have the PIC of this. So that is just how they would trust you with your competency.
Who made the decision? Not VMU, right?
Who made the decision? VMU would
VMU
propose.
is one of the branches instead.
Yes.
You have gained trust from VMU.
Yes.
But how the other officers? Who want to endorse this project? So there is no guarantee for this project. Is it true?
There is a guarantee for this project. I'm sorry, brother. I feel your statement is not really correct, because I think you also know the bureaucracy of administration. So that is why we go to VMU first. And then yesterday, when we had a meeting with BIM, I had a meeting with VMU, STAT, Madam Hafsa, and then the executive officers from BIM as well. That is the second level of discussion. And then the third one, we will present it to, when we have, after this, we will have a site visit from BIM to UIA. So in this next phase of discussion, OSM will be involved in this. So only then we can really present it to the UMC. So I think you need to understand that this is the basic phase when you initiate something.
UMC have the right to endorse.
Yes.
Yes. But you have consulted with the VMU. So I understand just now that VMU is the decision maker. But I believe that UMC. So this project have no guarantee that it will be passed in UMC because right now you have taking your chances in possibilities. If the UMC, University Management Committee, if the UMC have rejected your proposal, what you will gonna do? What you want to do?
All right. It is the matter of gaining the administration trust and also try and fight more because you are a student union. When we want to make something for the student, we fight. We fight everything every time we lose.
You fight, but you exactly know that your position is only MOU. It's only binding with. It's not binding with IIM. So where you want to put your voice then?
All right, I think we need to be clear on the what is the context of the MOU. So MOU basically allow us to operate legally and become the highest student representative body in IOM. It was signed in 20 January 2021, and the period of disagreement commencing from the date it was signed for 5 years. So this is the context of the MOU. But the outcome of this MOU is that we have the position in, we are the member in the University Management Committee, Senate meeting, Student Affairs Committee, 𝐒𝐿𝑀 Council. So this is our platform, and even the officer itself, the president itself, I saw them working real hard every week, attending to meetings. So I don't think we have this insecurity of not having the platform to champion our voices. Yeah, I'm quite unclear with your question actually. Because
So
you are cycling in on the same question.
So you don't have any guarantee that UMC will approve this proposal?
I think everything doesn't have guarantee. Will you guarantee that we will have this streamlining communication?
So you really put the possibilities in the middle of this discussion. You really put the possibilities in your manifesto, right?
Possibilities?
Yes. There is no guarantee that UMC will approve, and then you put the discussion in the manifesto. That is what you want to say.
Alright, at least I think I already initiated something, and that is what an officer should do. I think it's a matter of action. What am I doing right now is a matter of action, and what is my efforts. So this is my efforts. And what is your efforts for your both manifestos?
I think to be clear that the manifesto is no guarantee that she will bring.
So it goes the same way for both of us, lah kan?
I believe that my manifesto, I present my manifesto well, that we do have, this is the real solution for my manifesto. There is no possibilities in my manifesto. After I have gained the confidence with the students, this will be happen in IMSU. That is my manifesto.
Alright, I think can I ask one more question? 2 minutes. Alright, okay. So the question is that I think based on what you speak to the audiences, the students and the people who will vote for you is that you mentioned a lot about if we didn't follow the IIM administration, so we are going to lose our union. You mentioned something like that. So is that your only efforts as deputy president if you were to be installed in the office as deputy president 1? So would you just trigger the students? So what is your role to ensure that the union remains stronger? Yes, of course, I think sometimes we will use confrontative or consultative method in championing student voices. So what is your role to ensure that student union remains stronger and higher?
That's why my approach is that we need to gain trust first to the respective officers in IUM. If we IMSU have gaining trust from them, I believe that officers in IUM have the consideration to hear our voice. That is I believe. So this kind of we do have different kind of approaches. We do have constructive criticism. We do have a solution-based method. We need to choose the best method to bring our student voice to the respective offices, to respective office in IUM. There is no one solely method that is best to the students. So I believe Deputy President Wan for Gombak, this we do have different kind of approaches. The responsibility for us is to choose what is the best method. If we choose the best method, we can gain trust from IUM administration. We're dealing with the professors, we're dealing with the doctors. They all have the experience.
Would you appeal to the professors or the students? Would you appeal to the students or the professors as student union officers? Appeal.
Just now I say that we need to gain trust first, right? So if we have the trust from the administration, I believe professors or IUM administration will hear our concern. The most importantly, we need to start with our basic first. If our first impression, IMSU to the administration is low, so I believe the next meeting, IIM administration will ignore us. This is the reality that we need to accept. We cannot go beyond if we still didn't have the trust from IIM administration. IIM administration. So this is my task. This is my responsibility as a Deputy President Work Candidate Gombak to attract IIM admin to trust, to put fully trust to the IUMSU. Okay, I believe the time is up.
Thank you for both candidates. Looks like both of them know what they are doing. I hope that they can execute their manifesto. Before we proceed with the Q&A session, this is another friendly reminder.
Everyone can listen.
I hope everyone please stay quiet during our candidate present their ideas. I hope everyone can give full cooperation. Now, I open up for everyone here to ask questions for our candidate. Limit only one question for each person. Thank you.
One question. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Rafiq Shahmi. You can call me Rafiq. And I'm the candidate for Vice President on Student Union 2022-2023. As a person who will be working and be essentially a subordinate to the one who will win this election, maybe this deputy one, I'm really concerned about what are you going to be bringing towards the office of president. My question, I actually have a lot, but the limitation is only one. So I'll ask the one question that I am most interested to know about. So regarding, this is a question I think directed to Brother Fakhruddin. Thank you. The question is regarding your first manifesto regarding the promoting IUM Student Union to the global market. Second manifesto, sorry. Promoting IUM Student Union to the global market, something like Nanya and US. What are your mechanisms, and do you have maybe any personal connection with the student union outside of the Malaysia, and how do you ensure that this can also happen? Like your question to Sister Athirah is also a possibility if you mentioned just now. So I need to know if you have any concrete mechanism, if you have any personal connection with the international community of student unions, and also does this translate to local community also, or do you only want to promote to the international community and also does not have any connection with the local community? Because we are not alone as a student union in Malaysia. We also have KMUM and KMUKM. What are your thoughts? What are your mechanisms regarding this? So I hope that I can know about it. Thank you.
So Brother Rafiq said that the mechanism and the impact. Thank you for the question, Brother Rafiq. The mechanism that I have, we must understand that MSU must go globally, which is local and international aspects. So, in my second manifesto, that I would love to bring IMSU in the global, because IMSU, when IMSU have the voice in the global, so the statement or the voice in IMSU will going to global, and it can be trust for the students to put their trust to the IMSU itself. So why is it important for IMSU to go global? We must compare to the other NGOs as well. We do have a lot of NGOs in Malaysia that focusing on humanitarian, focusing on welfare, focusing on politics. So this kind of NGO have their own identity. I quote from Dr. Zulkifli Hasan that IMSU must have our own identity. So when we have our own identity, I believe that student union, IMSU student union can go to the global. Regarding the mechanism, I have approached the officers from the Student Union of Nanyang University and University of Leicester University. So the response is positive, and I'm quite sure that they will collaborate with us. Thank you.
Alright, I will answer this shortly because the question from Badi Rafiq is he wanted to know if we have any personal connection to extend the SU relation globally or beyond campus level. So I would say personal connection for personal connection internationally is that recently I have contacted with Liam Hen. Liam Hen is the president of Sheffield Student Union, the top first student union in UK. And then before that is for student union in UK. And then for Asian Student Union, last time in the Office of President, we collaborated with Indonesian Female Student Council. I attended the meeting with them as well. And also, I think during the early months of me learning about SU, we have this session with I'm not really sure that, I'm not really certain the amount of student union in that session, but I do contacted with European Student Union, Asian National Student Union, and also many more of it. So that is the personal connection that I have, and I would say that connection is not something that you approach them and then like you conduct a meeting with them. It is somehow how like it is as simple as I even like contacted with Liam through Instagram DM. Even like we converse with each other, and then we said that okay, after this let us talk, let us converse a lot about the union. Even though we are far from each other, there is always possibility to connect with other organization. And for beyond campus level, I think I have a strong connection with all student movement and student front in Malaysia. We do have KMUM and also KMUKM. We even attended to the rally in UKM that time when they have issue with their election. And also student movement, student front in Malaysia. We have Angkatan, Suara Siswa, Demokrat, UKM. So this is all the connection that we have, and then we're gonna sustain it in the next tenure. That's it. Thank you.
I'm quite shocked actually that Sister Athirah also working on my manifesto. Yeah, I'm actually quite shocked actually.
Test. May I? Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zahid Muslim. This is my kuliah of economics, and I am final year students. First of all, I would like to congratulate both of you, our new generation, new leader. I like this session actually, how you discuss constructively, both of you. I wish both of you all the best in the future and all. So, actually my question is regarding your financial sustainability of Iiumsu. Like what you say just now, we want to bring Iiumsu different like other societies. So we know that for like KDS, MRC, we have done a lot of side income project to gain money for programs like business and so on and so forth. Like I'm saying, we have textbook business every semester. So what kind of different special of your manifesto to bring in Iiumsu? And I would say that a business is not an easy task. Okay, because in your manifesto you want to state two ideas, which is a side income and a business. Because for a startup business, we need to have very much and vast knowledge, okay, and then experience and so on. So my question, to assess how serious you want to bring this manifesto, based on the previous tenure, we have a lot of projects like Korban, like Iium Vulturan, merchandise and so on. Which project is the best? Which project have been given a highest return back compared to the cost and the profit? Okay. Actually, I have one more question. Can I? No. Actually, this question is from my friends. Okay. Actually, she's a sister. Okay. She's very shy to come here. So, because of you are bringing the manifesto about woman empowerment. So, actually, my friends, her background is from a religious school, and okay, 30 seconds. So we know that there are a lot of students come to Iium to see the beautiful of how Islamic teaching, how we integrate with Islamic and the new in the knowledge. So the question is about what is your point of view about ikhtilat? Okay, and then because my friend believe that ikhtilat may lead to the sexual harassment issue, because we see that there are several cases on sexual harassment come because of their friends, not strangers. So that's all two questions from me. The first one, okay. The first one is about the business, how serious you are. Maybe you can say from the previous project. And second one was for your view on the ikhtilat and sexual harassment. This one.
this question is for me, right? Brother Zahid, this question is for me, right? All right, okay. Thank you so much for the question. The first one is financial sustainability, and the second one is I would like to correct the second rising issue that you mentioned, because my third manifesto is empowerment of women welfare, focusing on menstrual issue. But I would also answer to that question because it is a legit question. It is a question from the members of the union. I believe the friend that you mentioned is a member of the union. All right. So, okay, for the first question, financial sustainability, I would, yes, I would say that right now, SU, we rely heavily on membership fees and private donation. So, other businesses that we have, like Korban, and then merchandise, selling goods and services, that is quite temporary. So it is not sustainable. And I know your concern, you're coming from MSS as well. You're concerned that setting up a business is another task and another venture for the union. So that is why I focus on we start small first. For us to sustain this union, we start small first in doing our businesses. So that is why I focus on two kind of business, which is the first one is I'm planning for the union to set up an online or physical shop at Wadibudi, focusly on maybe specifically for we would have a thrift shop in the Wadibudi or selling it online at Shopee, because I am a businesswoman myself in Shopee, so I know how the platform would bring benefits to the student. So that is the first one. And then the second one is I also consider that we are a student. So we want to talk about big things, doing business, having holdings, while we are actually have these academic responsibilities in campus. So considering this concern, that is why I'm planning for the union to generate a passive income. Passive income, what does it mean by passive income? Is that we didn't use any labor, but we generate income, such as we venture into vending machine business. So that is also up to further discussion and also planning for it. But that is basically what I wanted to champion.
Okay. Okay, gently reminder that only limit one question for each person. Alright? And also for the candidates, only 2 minutes. You are given only 2 minutes to answer the questions. Alright? Please cooperate. Thank you.
Alright, thank you. So do I need to answer this second question?
Yes.
Alright. Okay, so you question what is my take on the issue of Ikhtilat, because it would lead to sexual harassment cases. I believe that we need to analyze more on the Ikhtilat issue, because this is what have been happening. Because when I went to Office of Security and Management, they also talk the same thing. They asked me, so what is your take on the sexual harassment issue that is being led by the Ikhtilat issue? So I would concur with the efforts done by the current student union officers, like making an awareness about this issue, but also we need to focus more on what we can do as a union. I mean, like, start with the education first, literacy first, and awareness first, so that we could highlight to the student and the member of the union that this is a big issue, and then we must take care, we must ensure the safety of our campus, because this is the root problem. So that is my take on the second question. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Assalamualaikum. I'm Kamila Zamri from 𝐒𝐄𝐜𝐄𝐓. My question is for Brother Fakhruddin. What benefit student can get from your second manifesto, and to what extent your target this union can be global? Thank you.
Thank you, sister, for the question. The benefits. So we must understand that IMSU is now is an independent body. So the role of IMSU not focus only for student, but now must respond to the issues that are happening in Malaysia and also in international level. So that is the role of IMSU. So the benefit for students regarding my second manifesto, the benefit is student have the direct participation with IMSU. So the discussion among student union from outside Malaysia, the discussion among, for instance, like Singapore, Indonesia, the discussion will directly contributed to the student itself. So even if the student have the capacity to participate in the discussion, so I believe that the argument, the input from the discussion will generate or will generate the student perspective, student thoughts in IIUM. That is my main mission, because we do have different kind of perspective, but what kind of perspective that is the best? I really love to quote Dr. Zakri Hassan. He said that Muslims should choose one method that we need to bring to international level. What is the best method? Okay, so the answer is we need to choose SDG concept. Thank you so much.
Okay, testing. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alif, son of Fakhruddin, son of Athirah. So this question is for both of you actually. So a union, as you mentioned, is an NGO, but it is not a mere NGO. It is a political actor, an important political actor on a national level. It will involve in national policy making process. So after AUKU was amended, I think during 2020 or 2019, we are freely given the chances to participate in national politics. So, okay, so the president will be a part of MPPK. Say, we'll have sessions and involvement in national policy making process. So, what is your role for both of you? What is your role as the deputy president one to assist not just the president but the union in this new era of student activism, where, as I mentioned, we are freely we're given a chance to freely participate in politics. So that's my question. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for the question. I think the question is about the function of student union in the new era of student activism that we have been allowed to involve in political activities. So I think I would want to advocate the people in this audience as well that we have this AUKU, Atta University, College University, ataupun in English it was called as UUCA, University and University College Act 1971. So before this, I would like to correct Brother Alif right now, just now, that it has been repealed in December 2018, not 2021 or 2019. So yeah, it has been repealed, specifically in, if I'm not mistaken, subsection 2 of section 15 of the UUCA 1971. It has been repealed that the provision, I'm not really sure, but I think this is the gist of the provision. The provision mentioned that student cannot involve in any political activities. So it has been repealed in December 2018. So I think we first need to define what is the new era of student activism. But I think you have defined it just now. So what we should do as a union in this new era of student activism, I think first we just like what I've been doing just now, I give literacy to you guys what all of this amendment is about. So first explain to the students and the members of the union first what it is about, because sometimes maybe the members of the union did not know that they can actually participate in any political activities or involvement. That is the second one. And then I think, and then the second, that is the first one. And then the second one is that as a union, if we have a group of students that involved in these political activities, we should assist them. All right, we should assist them. And then I think as a deputy president one, I think it is better to focus on my locality. Right now, I'm governing Gombak locality. So I would focus more on community engagement with student movement or issues around Klang Valley, which is a highly political location. So that is my role as Deputy President 1. Thank you so much for the question.
Thank you so much for the question, Brother Alif. I agree with Brother Alif that we need to express our political ideology to the IMSU. Yes, I agree with you, because each of students have rights to be in association. We have rights to be in any political arena that we have find that this is the right political actors that we need to believe. So yes, I agree. IMSU need to involve themselves in the political arena, international level. I agree with you. That's all. My answer.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Athirah from KENMS. So my question is for Sister Athirah regarding your third manifesto, progressive representation. So it stated here that you fight for the empowerment of IMSU participation in Secretariat Mahasiswa. So my question is, what is this Secretariat Mahasiswa? Because I'm not familiar with it. I also already asked my friend, and they also didn't know. And I also asked one of the member of the ex-officer of IMSU, and she also didn't know. And I also already tried to find it through the media social, and I'm sorry, I couldn't find it. So the concern, my concern is why we need to participate with this unfamiliar secretariat, and why we need to promote this secretariat. Because I see, if I can see your target for this, your aim for this manifesto is to collectively bring student voice, right? Okay. So why you don't come out with the solution of creating or establish a student unity council? Because I think this is more better to achieve your target, because it's gathered all student unity members across campuses, isn't it? Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Sister Adilahani. So I think first I would concur to your suggestion on the National Student Union of Malaysia, because that is what I've been fighting for. That is what I've been writing in my article about student union all this while, because we really need that National Student Union of Malaysia. But also, I would like to explain to you guys, the members of the union, how as you operate. This is within my knowledge as the staff members, as the secretary in the office of president, that yes, we have this MPPK, Majlis Perwakilan Pelajar Kebangsaan, but we also involved in Secretariat Mahasiswa Marhain. So the differences between these two council, both of these are council actually. So the differences between these two councils is that MPPK only consists of Student Representative Council across Malaysia. So this MPPK or SRC, they actually have, alright, thank you. They actually have a more autonomy in connection with MOHI, but this Secretariat Mahasiswa Marhain is actually a collective voices of student movement, student front in Malaysia, and then we have the members of the Secretariat Mahasiswa. It has been established, the Secretariat Mahasiswa. The members of the Secretariat is us, IMSU, UMSU, UKMSU, student movement, and also student front across Malaysia. I think maybe, I'm not sure why the Officer of Student Union did not know about this, because you mentioned that you asked this to Student Union officer, because, yeah, I know, but before this. I'm not sure why they didn't know, because they should know about this. This is the connection that we have. So that is the question. That is the answer. Thank you, Sister Adilah Hanim.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Mustafa. I am from Kuliya of Economics. Before I go my question, I just want to thank both of you for this interesting debate. And I think, guys, like Malaysia is lucky that future leader can represent this idea and this so moving to my question, unfortunately for us, as an international student, there is some groups of international students who manipulated to present international student in IIUM. So most of our programs don't deliver to IIUM Student Union or IIUM management. And not only the problems, it's only suggestions from international students that can help the student union. And most of international students, maybe you will not hear this opinion if you involve it before in student union, but this is our main concern as international student. So my question for both of you is, how will you make sure that you are really engaged with, I know you can't contact all of international students, but how can you contact, like get the real opinions of international students, and you can get their problems and deliver it to the authority of the student union? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brother Mustafa. That is a great question. So I believe that IMSU have different, IUM students have different kind of group, right? Local, international, disability unit, and others. So how well you make sure that they direct opinion and with international students. So in IIUM, we do have different kind of society under STAT, STAT IIUM, Student Affairs and Development. We do have SENSERV that focusing on community service. We do have Dakwah-based society. We do have KBS. So we do have CBS, country-based society. So this CBS, country-based society in IIUM that we need to engage. IMSU need to engage with CBS, country-based society. Country-based society is represent from each country in the world that available in IMSU. For instance, like we have Somali friends, we do have Indonesian friends by IIUM, we do have Palestinians, we have Al-Aqsa. So the engagement that we need to do with them is important. I believe the reality is we are less engagement with CBS. So that is the improvement that we need to make. We need to make in the future. Okay, thank you so much, Brother Mustafa.
All right, thank you so much, Brother Mustafa. So in answering your question, how do I engage? How do I make sure that I engage? I cannot see your face, so I need to stand. I need to say directly to you. So how do I engage as student union officer to bring international issues to a higher level? So first of all, I would like to congratulate the international community because right now we have international office seat in the central seat, and that is another level of milestone of international community, I would say. And I congratulate you guys, and even the candidates are running for it. That is your milestone as international committee. I know it is hard. It is hard to reach to the highest student representative body. So I would concur to Brother Fakhruddin's suggestion that we need to engage more with country-based society. But I also believe that sometimes hearing the real concerns of the students cannot be done only in the meeting. Sometimes hearing the grounded problems cannot be done in the meeting. So what I would do, yes, through systematic, the path is that using the CBS, like what Brother Fakhruddin mentioned, and also we have the international office right now, international office and international affairs office. So this is the platform and path. But as the officer, within my personal capacity, I would also ensure that I really hear the real concerns of the student on the ground, because some things cannot just be done in a meeting. We need to be with them. That's how you really connect with the people. Yeah, that is my question. That is my answer. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dofil Hadi, and I am the year from Ahmad Ibrahim College of Law. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm short. Okay, got it.
My question is to Sister Athirah, because I am interested with your first manifesto regarding the good governance when you want to amend the constitution. So my question is how you want to ensure that the constitution is being amended, because there are two methods in Companies Act. As you all know that our university is bound to Company Act 2016, and in this section 36, it is require the vote of the shareholder, and the section 37 it require the court order. So do you want to bring it to court, or if you want to bring it to the shareholder, how you want to ensure that the shareholder want to amend the constitution? Because we know that when the constitution is there, they are bound to the constitution, and if they make any inconsistency with the constitution, you may sue them to the court, and it is not really really popular among them. Thank you. That's the question.
All right, thank you so much, Brother Luffy. I really love the question from people from my field, legal field, because they're really grilling my provision things and all. So thank you so much for the question. But I think you are saying in the context of Company Act, but what I would answer is the context of procedural part in IUM itself. So how do we amend the constitution? How do we put the clause for IMC union in IUM constitution as the highest student representative body? So the procedure is that this is the real procedure. So first thing is we need to contact and present the proposal to the director of Office of Legal Affairs. So after that, only the director of Office of Legal Affairs will bring this to the University Management Committee. So after they discuss in the University Management Committee, only then we reach to the level of Board of Governors. So that is the procedural part of it. It can be done, but the challenges is how we want to make sure that the Board of Governors will agree and consented to this amendment. So that is another level of discussion that we will champion this issue with the Office of Legal Affairs in the union itself. So that is my answer. Thank you.
Yes. Assalamualaikum guys, my name is Munirah. I am from 𝐒𝐂𝐲𝐶. As I know that you have, I want to ask this question to Brother Fakhruddin. as I know that you have a lot of experiences with student activism. Example that you are from you are as vice president to RKHSSS 2022 and 2021, and then you are as chief of staff as UFA 2021 and 2022. And then I want to ask this question: what is your the immediate changes that you can give and contribute if you got elected, especially about in student activism? Okay, that's all.
Thank you to sister for the questions. So I believe that the question is regarding what is the immediate changes. So I would like to emphasize on my manifesto, which is first and second manifesto, that I believe that in my experiences from IMSU, I've chief of staff from IMSU Welfare Office. I've seen lots of improvement that need to change in the future. Regarding the IM issues, we do have a lot of issues in IM that are only being catered by IMSU and with the collaboration with the respective officers. So the relation, IMSU relation and the collaboration with the respective officers also is my main mission in the current in the upcoming IMSU, because if the issue is related to the, for instance, the issue is related to the sexual harassment, so what kind of officers that responsibility towards this issue? I wanted to take an example regarding sexual harassment. I believe that students didn't know that the clear guidelines how to report if I a victim of sexual harassment, how we wanted to report, what is the respective officers that that need to be taken off. So that's why it's the role of IMSU. We need to come with the specific guideline, specific policy that that advocates student that this is the method if you are the victim. That is the main role of IMSU, because we deal with the different kind of people. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. My name is 𝐒𝐄𝐏𝐔𝐓, one of the candidates for the international affairs. I'm also the one representing Guinea, the CBS. My comment first, and then one question is to Brother Fakhruddin. I really appreciate the sister that just asked the question by mentioning how he was involved in student activism, right? So during your presentation, while answering the questions from the moderator, you said that as a student union, we have to be careful, because if we are not, that IIUM can bring back SRC. As a student activist and as someone who is running to represent students in the union, do you think you should be going into this fight with the mindset that you will be replaced by SRC? Because we have been having SRC for so long. If you see that we changed, or even IIUM accepted to froze SRC and accept the SU, is for a reason, because they were not able to do anything. The SU came to bring the change, and that change cannot go if we have candidates that are not willing to really bring in the energy and are willing to be confrontative if necessary, because the main goal is to find a common ground. But you cannot go in it with having, okay, I have to be in peace like with them, or they will just replace me. So that's the comment. Now my question to you is, you have in your manifesto that one of the same point as me, even though we never talked about it, going global. I think maybe we can collaborate on that. You said that what Sister Athirah has on her manifesto is not sure, and you kept on asking her how she can make, she has to promise you that she will do whatever is written in the manifesto. But the manifesto is something that you wish, that you are willing to fight for, something that you will give everything to see it happen. You have points in your manifesto, you said you will make them happen as deglobalization, but when you were asked the question, you just said that you contacted people from Leicester, if I'm not mistaken, an organization from the UK, if not Leicester in the UK, right? So how can you tell us that the people you approached will accept collaborating with you? That's the first question. The second one, oh, one question. Yalla. Oh, shit. Oh.
Thank you, brother, for your question, brother Isiaga. Regarding my second manifesto, so thank you for the concern and suggestion. We as a student leader, we must we must maintain our leadership. We must maintain our image anywhere we go, especially during with the meeting with the IM administration. That is the first point. Why we need to maintain our image, our professionalism? Because in the administration meeting, we need to present that something that that university believe that is the main issue, that is the main concern in IUM. So we need to make them believe that this is the main issue in IUM. So that's why I need the facts and figures to present to the administration of IUM. The second one, brother Tiaga, we do have different kind of method of approaches.
What if you bring the figures to them and they are not willing to accept it? What will you do as a student union officer?
That's why we need to gain trust first. We need to gain.
You have, please. When you are elected, you will start working. You don't have time to gain this trust. You are elected. The next week there is a problem. You have the facts and the figures that there is a problem. You bring it to the IIUM officers, and they are not willing to accept. What will you do?
Yes, that's why we need the evidence. We need something to provide the IM administration to trust with us, to trust IMSU. If we didn't have any figures, why they won't have the capacity to trust us? That is the first question. The second one, we do have different kind of approaches. We do have diplomacy approaches. We do have solution-based approaches. So, which method that is the best to convey IM administration? We cannot simply say that this is the best method. But how we want to determine that is your personal opinion or other SU members as well. So, this upcoming IMSU, I believe that we need to choose the best method to dealing with IMSU, to dealing with IM administration. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Hassan Ali Jufri. I'm the president of the 𝐓𝐷𝐷𝐷 Club, one of the CPSs. So if there is something I hate the most, it would be bureaucracy. And our club is under State Office, and now they added one additional body, which is International Students Club, which is an additional bureaucracy step that we will have to go through. So I find the student union is very effective, and I think it's going to be our savior if we elect the right people. Okay. So I am a bit worried about gaining the trust. My question is to Brother Fakhruddin. I heard you talking about statistics and figures, and when I hear this, I feel like you are implying to address the big issues, but there are so many students who would face individual cases where we cannot deal with statistics and figures. So are you planning only to solve the problems that are in the macro level and not in the micro level, because many students are suffering? And are you ready to confront with those officers? Because I am sensing the approach is very friendly so far. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother, for the question. Amazing question. The reason we do have different kind of approaches. So the bureaucracy that you are mentioned is one of the system that we need to believe that there have been pros and cons. So bureaucracy is like there is less contribution with the top management. We do have top to bottom, bottom to top. So this is the importance of bureaucracy. We have we need to analyze the issue, and then is it the issue need to be bring to the higher level? If the issue is really important, then yes, we need to bring into the higher level. But if the issue can only settle around us, so there is no need to bring on the higher level. So that is kind of the approaches that I would love to bring in IMSU. So why is it statistic and figure? If we have the evidence, or in reality, if we say something, we need to have proof. If we just make a statement, so there is like a empty can, there is no evidence. So there is like a sentiment. So that's why I emphasize on statistics and figures, because the reality is admin is wanted to see the figures, the urgency of the issue. If we do have another level of issue, we do have emergency issue, we do like, for instance, like social harassment, we do have like facilities issue, the moral issue. So this is the importance of SU to detect whether what issue is the best to bring into the higher level of management. So this kind of, I would say this is the theory, but the practicality is, I believe that upcoming SU will be the best to bring this issue into the management. Thank you so much.
Hello. Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Asma Hamidah. Currently, I'm in my 4th year, 2nd semester from Kuliah of Economics. So, before I start my question, let me just congratulate both of you for doing so well for today's debate tonight. So, congratulations, because you have achieved until this point. All right. So my question is very simple. I would like to point my question to Sister Athirah. So basically, 2 days ago, I drive my car and I pass the junction of Aminah, and I see a lorry with bikes full of bikes that are wasted because of due to many reasons, and those bikes are actually to ease the student movement around campus. So with regards to your 5th manifesto, which is focusing on the electronic mobile scooters without harming the environment, how you consider the safety wise if we are about to use this electronic scooter on the road in this campus? Because as you can see, we actually have a very turbulence road. Even our car, we as a driver, we also we also worry about the effect of this road to our car. So how does this manifesto could ensure the safetyness of our students in this campus? So apart from that, just 2 days ago, the Ministry of Transportation actually has declared that e-scooter is illegal to be used on registered road since it may cause harm to the road user, including University Road. So I think from this debate, I know that you are very positive towards this manifesto, but I believe you a risk assessment, a very thorough analysis should be done. So how could you respond to this? Because it will affect our student safetyness. We have so many issues, so we don't want to create a new issue. Thank you.
Alright, thank you so much, Sister Asma Hamidah. For the question on the safety of the students, and in regards to my manifesto to ensure the existence of mobile scooter services in campus. Yes, I acknowledge and I know about the recent update from the Ministry of Transport with their enforcement. So this is actually what we have discussed with in the meeting with BIM and Vehicle Management Unit and also STAT yesterday. So we discussed about this as well. Like, okay, so we have this new guideline from the ministry. So how do we confirm it to university campus? So they because BIM myself they acknowledge about this issue because this is what they have reached the level of third discussion with University Malaya as well, because University Malaya also bring e-scooter services BIM in their campus. So yesterday during the meeting, they said that this is actually will need a further discussion with the ministry itself, and there is few exception for corporate company and university road. And then we yesterday we suggested to the university administration and also BIM for us to have a complete guideline for the enforcement and the use of the mobile scooter. Maybe we can use it only for interkuliah, not the main road. So these are few G's of the discussion yesterday. So I believe we can still enforce this fifth manifesto because we are moving towards that, but also need to consider the current issues and most importantly, yes, the safety of the student. So that is my answer. Thank you, Sister Asma.
Yes, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Fakhruddin from 𝐈𝐴𝐺𝐿 Student Society. So my question, before this, earlier Brother Fakhruddin mentioned about the getting trust from the admission and students. So I think that I think the discussion is essential because we want the question is more to locality-based problems. Like currently, I believe that the food price in all mahala is increased. Like for the ayam penyet, 5 to 6 ringgit. And so how if what are the solutions for Brother Fakhruddin and Sister Athirah to come up with how to gain the trust from the students, how to solve the issue? What if the RSC doesn't want to turunkan the price of the foods? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Brother Musab, for the questions. I believe that this issue is currently happening in our campus. Yes, in Mahala Ali, the food price is very expensive. For instance, like in Usman, in Farouk, I also believe that the nasi, what we call nasi ayam, is currently from 5 ringgit to 6 ringgit. So even 1 ringgit is increased, but as a student, we are affected by that. Yes, and I believe that Siddiq is the most cheapest cafe in Mahalla, but right now civic is also expensive. So I will acknowledge the issue. The respective MRC or each of the MRC from MRC Mahalla Salahuddin, MRC Mahalla Ali, Mahalla Siddiq, they have a president, right? The president we call MRCC, Mahalla Representative Committee Coordination. So they have addressed this issue to the MRC, and we also as students we can complain this issue towards in the 𝐒𝐓𝐷 apps. So I believe students and MRCC have acknowledged this issue, and then it will affect us students also. Okay, thank you so much.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I need to answer that question as well. Sorry, brother. So I think for the question, I would answer it shortly. So yes, I know I experienced the same thing. I'm a fan of Gepuk Rukaya, and then the price goes up, and I'm so fuming with that. So I think the most important thing, being a student union officer, yes, we want to champion student voices, but we also need to be smart. We need to be intelligent. So right now, the issue of high prices of high food prices. So what is the root problem of it? So you can't go to the administration like lower the food price, but actually the economy is struggling outside. So be smart first, research, and let's see the situation in campus, other campuses, and also the national trend of it. So, and then we can propose something for it. Yeah, so that would be my answer. Thank you, Brother Musa.
Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So sorry for that. Okay, my name is Muhammad Faiz bin Jafri, and I'm from IRKHS Student Society. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you two. I'm proud to have a member of AHAS KHS, as well as a good friend of mine for over 3 years, contesting for the Deputy President seat. I think you two are competent leaders, and I'm sure you're very familiar with this question. So my question is, in all student societies, one of the main problems is capacity building. So in trying to make the union more efficient, how would you ensure our capacity, this is for both candidates, how will you ensure our capacity keeps expanding in the future tenures rather than resetting every time with new leaders to handle the student union? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Brother Faris. I would answer the question first. So that is why it is important to have a professional work ethics, so that you could know how to run the organization better within your capacity as a student and as someone that will run the organization. You cannot manage between these two. You cannot be balanced. We need to be realistic on that. So that is why during my service in the office, we plan to make a human resources unit that would cater the capacity of the staff, and then what can we give to the staff members of the union that I mentioned right now. So that is what we have been planning, but we cannot execute it because we transform it into the joint chief of staff. So this chief of staff, every office in SU, I know most of the students, most of the members of the union did not know about the structure in every offices. So in every office we have chief of staffs, and then we have the joint chief of staff under the office of president. So this is the current effort, but I think moving towards the next tenure, if I were to win in election, we need to be serious in setting up human resources unit, because we are a student, we are not being paid, and we are moving toward a full-time officer in student union that are being paid. So that is my answer.
Thank you, Brother Thank you, Brother Faris, for the question. Interesting questions. So I believe that capacity building in IMSU the structure in IMSU is the important thing that we need to manage first. Each of the roles, each of the person in IMSU need to understand their job perfectly. What is the function of president? What is the function of deputy? What is the function of chief of staff as well? What is the function of staff members? So each of the officers, like for instance in Office of Welfare, we do have a category of welfare students, all related to the welfare. So this kind of understanding of the job scope that need to be emphasized in the IMSU. So keep extending you to know. That is why we as a student need to have one mindset that which is good for IMSU, we need to continue. Even if we keep resetting, if we keep changing to the new method, so that is a waste of time. We do have only 1 year. So each solution in IMSU need to be discussed properly and choose the best solution for students. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum again. It's just information, corrective information said by Brother Hassan. He said his Hadramaut Club is registered under CBS, but he left. He's not here. I wish he was here to hear this. And based on the incorrect information, he gave a question. So for the sake of clear of the election, I have to say Hadramaut Club is not registered club in IIUM. It's not registered under STAD. It's not registered under CBS. So the only thing that represent Yemeni people is Yemeni club, and Yemeni club is now can consider under freeze because they have some problems between them. So I just want to correct the information. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Brother Mustafa. I would take note on that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you so much for teaching. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I believe I'm the last person. So being the last person, just a statement, I wouldn't ask questions. Yeah, but it's rather to give a final short statement as the now former Deputy President one. Okay, and I'm very happy to see, just guys, give a round of applause to them. I'm very happy to see like the election this year is very like I would say, in Malay we call it meriah, in English we call it what? What do we call it? Okay, it's very festive. Okay, so thank you so much guys for running. I would love to conclude the Q&A sessions with one or two stories. I believe just one short story to inspire both of the candidates on how we can move forward and deal with the ecosystem of serving the students, you know, coming from the students itself, and also having good relationship with the whole policymakers, that is the administration, etc. So the first story that I wanted to tell all of you, you know, okay, so the first story that I wanted to tell all of you is one question on opening the gate. Do you guys remember when we were, that time when the gate is closed? Perhaps some of you guys might be there. There are a lot of people who contribute. We also have Mustafa at the back, you know, giving food distributions and his NGO. But the story is, sorry, I'll make it short. But the story to inspire you guys is what happened when we reached the administrations. Okay, they said that no, we cannot open the gate because it is too harmful. And then it gives us with two options. Either we're gonna go to the students and say, guys, the administration said we cannot, so don't do it, you know, and just give excuses, or we can hold the news first, okay, and then we continue to find all other alternative options, leeways to actually reach the solutions for reaching what the students want. So just for 15 seconds conclusion, I would love to say that I hope any of the candidate that is winning, okay, I hope you guys would never give up, you know. If there is bad news, if there's something that the students want but we do not get it, hold the news, strive further, try better until you get it, you give the good news, and alhamdulillah, we can achieve the things that we want for the students by the students. Inshallah. All the best, guys.
Well, the question and answer session has been completed. Sorry for any inconvenience. Thank you.
you may leave the hall now. Thank you.
Everyone, please take